please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Celebrating 16 years of Young Turks.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Young Turks from the 22nd Wharton India Economic Forum that is being held in Mumbai. I'm Shruti Mishra. An annual student-run India-centric conference, Wharton India Economic Forum gives thought leaders a platform to discuss the opportunities present in India and the challenges that need to be addressed. With its aim to promote entrepreneurship for the last 5 years, the forum has been running a startup challenge that features India-focused startups. And Young Turks is proud to partner the startup challenge for the 5th time in a row. Today on the show, we bring you all the action from the Wharton India Economic Forum 2018. Take a look. With the theme Diversify, Disrupt, Deliver, the 22nd Wharton India Economic Forum dabbled with ideas to diversify governance and human capital, identified trends that will disrupt industry through innovation, and discussed how to deliver impact to society. Speaker sessions covered a variety of topics ranging from industry deep dives to discussing building and scaling businesses in India. And one such session that caught our attention was the fireside chat with CEO of Future Group, Kishore Biyani, along with his 2 daughters, Ashni and Avni Biyani, on family business transitions.
How involved have your daughters been in the business and from what age?
To the best of my memory, I think they've been involved since very early days. Maybe, well, they were in school or college. We used to open stores and I used to stay in cities for 7 days and the family used to go along. I remember their opening the plastic bags and the cartons and putting on the shelf. So I think, secondly, I think they get into business because of the conversation you have at home, the kind of people you meet, because I always do my last meeting at home. And there are always some kind of people, whether it's architects, whether they are designers, whether they are business people from somewhere else. So they have been involved in a sense. But once they came back from their studies, I think very day they came back to business.
From a young age that you knew you were going to be part of the family business, or was it a choice, or was it something you forced on your dad?
One of my biggest passions, I think, from a very young age has been watching people behavior and studying human relationships. We grew up in a joint family, so we had to study human relationships to thrive. So I think...
Joint family, how many people in there?
Huge.
They were a 4-generation joint family when we were growing up. So,
that's great.
I think 5 of them used to sleep on the same bed.
Wow. Okay.
So I think we learned...
you had to get political early.
So we learned how to thrive with people and amidst people at large. So, I mean, he never wanted us to study business because he always said business is common sense. You can teach them, you don't need to go to business schools. So I went to design school, studied textile design actually, never practiced textile design for a single day. When I came back, I had some opportunities otherwise also to maybe be part of some design firms, etc. But when I came back, the biggest idea was how do you impact consumer life, or how do you impact number of human lives? And when I came back at that time, we were in the process of creating what we then called the Innovation and Incubation Team. Went on to run our larger size Big Bazaar stores called Big Bazaar Family Centers, and then founded Future Ideas, which is our consumer thinking think tank at large.
So I followed her 5 years later into the business. I studied from NYU and I did sociology and politics because, again, we were not meant to study business. So when I joined the business, actually, I didn't really know which part of the business I was joining or what I'd be doing. But I think a month ago, before I came, he told me, oh, okay, you can join the food part of the business because you seem to be very passionate about food. And we were just about starting to experiment with a format called food hall. So we didn't really, it wasn't planned or designed in a way that I would join and I would get to run food hall. It just so happened that I joined and, I thought I could play a bigger role over there. And also Dad doesn't really believe in giving you a role or carving something out for you. He thinks that water will find its own level, and in the sense like we'd spend so many of our summers like in the group, you know, every summer I came back, I spent 3 months with him interning. I did a whole summer with him where he did a very intense, when we ran a very intense PE process. So we were already exposed to so many other parts of the group, and we knew everybody. You know, we knew the top management, we knew all the leaders. So in that sense, the induction on day one was very different from what anyone else maybe goes through.
Being a female executive has its challenges everywhere.
I think even when Ashni came, she was the first woman in our family to join business.
Great.
First of all, the family to accept it, a woman joining business. Secondly was the people, senior executives to accept it. Thirdly, woman becoming a leader and the men reporting to her itself is a big challenge. Fourthly, they believe they have come for time pass and they will just disappear.
Yeah, I've had people, like journalists asking me, what time do you come to work? What time do you leave? I'm like, what time do you come? What time do you leave?
Yeah.
They had to deal with it, and somebody, I will say this honestly, but whoever didn't obey or didn't agree with
Take
her,
her seriously, yeah.
They were out.
Okay. Tell me a little bit, you're trying some initiative where you're using small stores and somehow data from Facebook, groups from Facebook, and as well as data from Google Maps, and create an interesting model that sort of may entice the less, I think, is it aimed at enticing the less tech savvy online? What was that?
I think we call it Retail 1 was
Retail
the
1?
physical store.
Okay.
Retail 2 was pure online commerce, and Retail 3 is going to be offline and the digital commerce sitting over the offline commerce. Okay. So on a physical store, how can we layer a digital intent is what the Retail 3.0 is. We, as a group, 3-4 years ago, we thought we are a consumer goods company rather than a retailer as such. We are into food and fashion as a business. In fashion, we would be probably among the top 10 in the world by next year in terms of the number of garments we are going to sell. In food, we want to be the nutrition and the food provider to the nation. We are very ambitious on our food business. So, and we have our own distribution, we have our own brands, we have our own retail stores, and now all our new stores which we are launching, the smaller stores, are all membership stores. And the whole idea is to collect the data. And on the commerce layer, once we have the data of the consumers, of the members who are coming into our stores, we think we can predict exactly what they are going to buy. We have our own manufacturing, so we can produce exactly what we know what they are going to buy and do a collaborative planning, forecasting and supply chain model in a period of 3 to 4 years.
On that note, it's time for us to take a short break, but stay tuned as there's lots coming up from Wharton India Economic Forum 2018. I have with me India's only Olympic gold medalist, Abhinav Bindra. Many thanks for joining us on Young Turks. Now, you know, Abhinav, after ruling the shooting range for over a decade now, you launched your incubation fund, Shooting Star, in partnership with consulting firm Franchise India. What made you bet big on startups?
It's a little bit like a sporting journey. It's a journey what I have to undertake. There's a huge risk to it, but I relate to that because the sporting journey is all about risk. One thing you can guarantee in a sporting journey that there is absolutely no guarantee for success, and the startup journey is somewhat like that. It's an investment that you're making. It's an educated type of a gamble that you do at the end of the day. But I understand and relate to it, and I like you know, the passion that people show. And that's why I started.
I believe the fund looks at investing in service-oriented startups. What are the areas that interest you?
Healthcare, also sport. But we invested in an Ayurvedic company, fitness. We invested in something with fitness. So that's been interesting. But those are areas which I'm pretty passionate about myself. So that's something which I'm always looking out for.
Last year, your venture fund, Shooting Star, along with Franchise India, invested $1 million into FitPass, a provider of access passes to gyms and fitness studios. What made you bet big on them? What did you like about them?
I think fitness is something which has got the imagination of our people. It is something which is very, very important for us as a people. And that is why that was the reason of my decision. What
do you look for in startups when you invest? Is it the founding team, the idea, the innovation? What attracts you most?
For me, the most important is the passion that the people show and the integrity that they display. Integrity towards working hard, towards the process, because at the end of the day, it's a process. You know, you're not going to be, success is not going to come overnight. It's going to be a journey what has to be undertaken, and everybody, whoever wants to be successful has to show tremendous amount of tenacity and perseverance over a long period of time.
Sports ecosystem has become more supportive and has changed over the years since you started your journey. But what is that one thing that still lacks, and you feel your venture is going to support that and improve on that?
I run a foundation, and I have a partnership with a foundation called the Go Sports Foundation, where we fund and train young athletes. I think there's something called the Abhinav Bindra Targeting Performance Program, which helps train about 30 or 40 young athletes, junior athletes, in different sports. The idea was the biggest missing link in Indian sport is our ability to get support down to the grassroots, and I think that is something which I'm quite passionate about, and that's something that I'm working on.
All right, my final question to you is, what is the similarity between a startup and an athlete's life?
Oh, it's very, very similar. It's a journey what one has to undertake. It's work that you have to put in every single day. You have to live it. You have to live it 24/7, and you don't know if you're going to succeed. You probably won't, but you still have to try and put your best foot forward and believe in what you're doing. And I think that belief is what will help both sides succeed.
I have with me the founder of India's biggest self-drive car rental startup, Zoomcar, Greg Moran. Greg, thank you very much for joining us on Young Turks.
Thanks so much for having me.
With over 3,000 cars across 27 cities, over 9 lakh trips a year, and a revenue of 121 crore rupees in financial year ending 2017, it's definitely heady times for Zoomcar. But you also are aiming at a target of 25,000 cars by 2018-2019. Are you on track on achieving that?
I definitely believe that where we sit today, we're in a very strong position to achieve the 25,000 cars by later next year in 2019. So really, for us, our focus has been and will remain our growth of our marketplace program, ZAP, which enables individuals to fractionally share their car with us for some of the time. And that will be the growth story going forward for our supply.
You recently launched a cycle sharing service, Pedal. I believe Mumbai is your 5th city where you've launched. What is the kind of growth that you've seen with the business?
It's been tremendous. And so from a very small base of just a couple hundred cycles now to well north of 3,000 cycles. And we're already doing, on a run rate basis, well over 3 lakh transactions a month. So, very, very significant growth. And we believe that number will go to 3 lakhs per day in a very short order.
Even Ola has launched its bike sharing service, Ola Pedal, and it's launched in university campuses. I know it's early days, but is it going to affect business?
Well, we welcome competition. So whether it's from Ola, whether it's from some of the Chinese cycle sharing companies that are likely to come here. And ultimately it's about growing the market, and it's about further developing the use case. We have a much stronger technology focus around the cycle. So we've built and designed our cycles from the ground up. Locally here in India, and we have built our own IoT stack for those cycles in terms of functionality. From our understanding, Ola does not have that.
In the past, you've spoken about going international. Can you elaborate on that?
So I think our model in India, what we're doing at the core, is very applicable to other markets in geographies like Southeast Asia, Africa, etc.
So what are the countries that are on your radar, and how soon will we see operations there?
I think every big country in Southeast Asia and all the big countries in Africa would very much be on our radar. So it's 8 or 9, 10 countries. I think this year for sure. If you look at the big markets there, you have Indonesia, you have the Philippines, you have Malaysia, Thailand. So I think all those big countries would be very natural.
Zoomcar also has plans and has a partnership with Mahindra to launch electric vehicles. Can you elaborate on those plans as well?
Yeah, so we started already in Mysore and Hyderabad, and we'll be coming up very soon in Delhi, in Mumbai, in fact, Pune, etc., several other markets. And,
how soon?
So this quarter, for sure. So it's as quickly as they get manufactured. So we've orders have been placed, and so we're just waiting for the cars to come. So yeah, ultimately we're approximately in 30 cities now, pan-India. We've made no secret that we want to be in all 30 cities with electric cars by the next quarter.
And what's the kind of business you're expecting in the electric car market? What are the kind of margins that you're looking at?
Actually, if you think about the variable cost structure is much more efficient for electric vehicles, whether it's on our marketplace or whether it's a model that we own, because ultimately you don't have the same fuel cost. 80% cheaper fuel, 80% cheaper service maintenance. So that's really incredible. So as a result, you can actually charge a lower price and you can still have a higher margin. So as a result, we're quite bullish.
Announced in August this year, the contest offers up-and-coming Indian startups a platform to connect and network with investors and industry stalwarts from the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. Since its inception, the contest has grown 20x and has acted as a successful stage for companies like Keto, Zostel and Baby Chakra. The chosen top 20 finalists and exhibitors compete for $20,000 in prizes, a chance to be crowned with the Jury Award, the Popular Choice Award and the Exhibitor Award. Take a look. Having received over 500 applications this year, the 5th Wharton India Start-up Challenge also featured a startup exhibit that hosted the top 10 finalists as well as 10 additional high-caliber startups.
One, you need a very high quality. Two, you need very low latency. We give free live propositions to our users.
The chosen top 10 finalists pitched in front of a power-packed jury. Pitches ranged from machine design startups and ticket discovering engines to edutech and fintech firms. The selected 3 made it to the final pitching round in front of a live audience.
Eduance essentially is an NBFC that provides loans for skilling and education purposes. What we do is we fund anyone who's looking for any kind of an outcome-based trainings for anywhere between as low as 5,000 rupees to few lakhs of rupees.
How do you assess the intent of your borrower to pay back?
When they download our app, we get to know, what are their stable contacts list have been like. Are they calling their parents regularly? Are there, their geographical locations when they say, okay, this is my home. Are these guys at the home at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. and we keep shooting those pulses at that time, how stable they are. But while we do not understand certain segment where we might not have enough data, we continue to use traditional methods where we will do physical verifications, we will track attendance, we will track your mark sheets and scoring through the direct interactions and our technology live interactions with the institute. So while we are building analytics on an individual in certain areas, we continue to rely on traditional methods as well.
What we do is we get audio from point A to point B in real time with very high quality and extremely high reliability. But then how do we make money? So we have 2 major models, one in which we license the entire technology stack to professional audio companies, and the second is where we license just the corrective algorithms to people like, say, the video over IPs, the people who transmit audio over the internet, the phones of the world, the Apples of the world, your Skypes of the world, the Gmails, the Hangouts, all of these kind of folks.
What is the loss rate that your algorithm can work with? So if it loses 50% of the audio, will it still work?
It doesn't work with a 50% loss, but we have tested in a lot of real-world scenarios the loss. So currently, the losses are anywhere between 3 to 5%, and we can handle anywhere between 8 to 9%. So that is like our cutoff.
SpotDraft is an AI-driven end-to-end contract management company. So we're a legal technology company. On SpotDraft, in less than 30 seconds, you can draft legally binding contracts. We've got hundreds of templates that you can choose from. And it's not just that. It also helps you operationalize your contracts. It sends you automated invoices, automated payment reminders, and there's free e-signing. You can upload them or import them. We analyze for over 30 key parameters and check for various things that need to be looked into a contract. And finally, we help you understand the good, the bad, and the ugly of the contract. And all of this is through artificial intelligence. There's no human involvement here.
What was the data size approximately that you used to train your AI algorithms?
So about 3.5, 4 million contracts. A bunch of them were from SEC and publicly available sources, and of course, Indian contracts as well. So we have about 4 million contracts. So we know exactly the DNA of how an NDA should look like or how a sales contract should look like.
With that, we are over with the final pitches. To find out which startups made the cut for the jury and the audience, let's go across to the award ceremony.
The Judges' Choice Award goes to EduVans. The Popular Choice Award goes to SpotGraph. The Exhibit Award goes to Saral Design.
All right, guys, congratulations on winning. Now tell me, what does this win mean to you? What are the takeaways from the forum and what are the future plans?
So winning the Judge Choice Award definitely is a big boost for EduVans.
Yes.
It's a good start to the year. Yeah. And I think with these kind of winnings, we will be definitely able to grow ourselves across India, supporting millions of people who are looking for employments and support for their education and skilling.
All right. Tell us about it.
It was always good to get the Popular Choice Award, which means that the people really understood what we are trying to do, which is solve a problem of making law more democratic. We are trying to create a platform where you can draft contracts, manage, and analyze them through artificial intelligence. And now that we feel that we are connecting to the people, we are able to add more users and get exponential growth. So 2018 is going to be a year of super growth for us.
2018 is going to be a super growth year for you as well. Winning the Exhibitor Award, tell us, how does it feel?
It feels really good. A lot of people came to our stall and asked about so many questions. We work in the menstrual hygiene space, and it's great that people have finally started talking about periods. There is a movie which is coming really soon. And at Saral Designs, we are trying to make manufacturing more decentralized using automated technology that we have developed in-house. And the year looks really promising with this start.
All right, the year looks very promising, and apart from the fabulous prizes that you won, Young Turks and our luxury gift partner Rado would like to gift away Rado watches to you guys as well. So here's yours. Congratulations. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.